Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 90,
90
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
All sorts of new goodies, fresh from California this week.
Can't wait to see them.
And also, we apologize for the slight delay. We are in Daytona for Speed Weeks, which we do every year. So.
I know, like 15 hours just on the Daytona 500 day. Oh my gosh.
It was wonderful. Well worth the wait for me, but maybe not for all.
It was really long
maybe not
day.
for all. I loved it. So
and we're heading into Epcot here.
That's right. This is our favorite time of the year. It's springtime at Epcot, getting ready for the Flower and Garden Festival.
Is it still snowing anywhere in the country? I have no
Sure
idea.
it's snowing at many places in the country.
Because I know it's not springtime everywhere, but this is a time when, you know, the topiaries are blooming, and I'm just so excited about it.
Yes, well, it was a beautiful day this week when we went. I think it was about 80 degrees, and everything was blooming.
Remember a few years ago, we ended up having a lot of frost up until March.
Right, there was a cold snap, and they had all the flowers covered by those white coverings there.
Right, no cold snap this year. No. It looks great.
So anyway, this is the flower quilt, and you can see they're still watering it, getting ready to start the festival.
Yes, and there's a flower and garden sign, one of them. There's several of them this year.
I think this is a booth that is closed, but they'll be selling food
It
again.
is a booth.
It'll be food this year. Oh, and there's Alice, and of course she's late. She does not have time to talk to me.
No, she has no time. And March 5th is when the festival officially starts.
That's right. There's Captain Hook. I remember Captain Hook was very lively last year.
Yes, he actually moved. This one doesn't move.
So you did some of these shots while I was at Daytona for the Thursday
race.
Look,
I went right up on his tongue because I was so fascinated. You know, it's so interesting to see the detail in the teeth and the tongue and the eyes. So you didn't get it all.
Yes.
And there's the flowering. There's yellow trees and pink trees, and they're beautiful. But these blooms last for like a couple of weeks, and it's all gone.
And it's usually before the festival officially starts. So we always get this shot now about a week out before the festival.
But usually there's even a little bit more of the pink blooms behind them. So maybe not this year.
Right. And there is the true love, they call them,
yes.
Topiaries.
And no faces. We're going to see a face on Snow White this year, but
that's Cinderella there. Yes. And you can tell it's all the old style topiary. You know, we're not the arms. Look at the arms, the moss, the face, the perfect hands.
Right, that's a little different.
That's every year.
Is it?
It's like that.
Oh, well, it's different for Snow White.
Through the magic of editing, we see the smokehouse here has no topiary at all. But just a few days later, we will see Woody.
Yay!
And you can tell Woody has that very detailed face and those hands that we talked about, but you could see it's the traditional style topiary in his body.
And this is something, we almost get like 2 extra weeks on either side of the Flower and Garden Festival, so it's like an extra month of fun for us.
Here's a bunch of the concerts that'll be playing during the festival. I think it's just weekends for this festival, right?
Yes. Food and Wine, for some reason, still has it every day, the concerts every day.
So there'll be a couple groups I want to see in there.
Hermits is one of my favorites.
I know.
And Starship,
of course. Oh, and this is the same as pretty much every year.
Right. It used to be that Disney would move around the topiaries more than they do now, and they still do it a little bit, but not, like Lady and the Tramp might be on the other side, or they've been in this location like 4 years now.
4 or 5 years. Oh, look at that. I see somebody in the background I recognize.
Oh.
Very suspicious.
Don't point me out.
So this was probably the coolest thing we've seen. This is Snow White, and the reason you see the this year's date is because we're going to see last year's Snow White and see the very different
And
look.
I could tell from the back when I left you to see the Ziti sisters, I was like, oh, that's different this year. And I was so excited. They're in the same location, but it's very different.
Right. And like you can see last year, it was not detailed. I've always thought she was kind of weird without the face. No face at all.
Most of them, like the Tinkerbell and the fairies a lot of them don't have faces.
Well, I think because they did the hair with her and all the dwarfs had faces, it just didn't work. It wasn't right. But this is tremendous.
I think everybody should have a face now. Like, I think everyone should have a face. I thought...
And she has a foot, a real foot, and hands.
It looks incredible. I think really incredible this year.
I agree. So far, it's the most impressive thing I've seen from our festival preview that we're doing, and I can't wait to see what else is
Well, Kermit and Miss Piggy I can't wait for. But I was going to say, like, we've been asked about her bodice. It doesn't have color in it this year. I don't know if it will flower in at maybe a blue and a red. I have no idea.
I doubt it. I think because the face is now the moss, that type of moss material, and the actual topiary, the plants, the living plants, is where the dress is this year. I think that's why.
But,
I don't think it's possible.
But
although they could plant.
We'll see Sulley,
Right.
and Sulley will become blue. Not very blue, but somewhat blue.
Hey, it's a panda.
Yeah, 3 pandas.
And you said they weren't holding those
I was thinking
bamboo,
they weren't, but
this
I guess
was the
they
very
were.
first day.
Yeah.
I guess they were holding. Sometimes we just discover things now while we record.
I know, yeah.
We don't know because we've seen them so many times over the years. They have been in this spot for
about 4 years
3
now,
or 4
too.
years, right. And there they are again from the other angle with the bamboo. I like that they have the fence there because it used to be where people would climb in with them and take pictures with them. So
I don't even
fences
remember
are good.
that.
Yeah, the fence is a new addition.
And the troll is back, and that wooden fence is also new.
Now, I thought it was funny when I was recording this little clip, somebody around me was saying, hey, look, it's Shrek. But then a friend of mine, Max, said they were probably talking about me.
No, they weren't talking about
I don't know. Hopefully not. And here's more of the Norway pavilion. They have the flowers on the roof.
And that's pretty much every year they do that. I think there might have been like 1 year they didn't.
There's always grass on the roof, but the plants and the flowers are just for the festival.
And I think it looks very nice. I just love how, the flowers are blooming just all around Epcot. But not only at Epcot, but like the Magic Kingdom even looks more beautiful with all the flowers.
And who would have thought last year at this time that the biggest lines anywhere in Epcot would be in the Norway pavilion?
I would have never guessed
Anna
it.
and Elsa command a 3 to 4 hour wait every day still. So it's crazy.
I would have never guessed.
And this is the playground for the Pixar characters.
Well, it's the Mater. There's other Pixar characters too, but this area is called
the Cars. I should say the Cars character.
Mater's Parts, Plants, and Play Garden. But not this. This is Mike and Sulley's Monstrous Garden. Munster. And you can see that Sulley is turning blue. He has blue.
He's a little skinny there. He needs to grow in his blue.
He needs to eat around the world.
Yeah, that'll... So that was it. We are very excited.
It?
Next week is the Flower and Garden
Festival.
Festival.
I can't wait to go back tomorrow and take a look again.
So now we're at Downtown Disney. Big doings going on at Downtown Disney. This is Starbucks. Big doings, yeah.
Lots of Starbucks. Like you will always be able to find a Starbucks now at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, that's for sure. Which is not a bad thing. I love Starbucks, so I'm not complaining about that.
I keep getting my discounted and free gift cards.
Now that stage that we just saw, used to be a fountain. It probably still is a fountain, but now they're using it for a temporary stage at night.
There's a lot of stages now too.
Right. Well, you have to do something. This is concept art of Disney Springs. I should have called it Disney Springs when I first announced this segment, but Downtown Disney, Disney Springs.
It's still Downtown Disney.
Right. So we're looking at Planet Hollywood, which is sort of boarded up, but you can get in there if you walk all the way around to this area towards the old parking lot, which you could see is going full force ahead there to try to get that done.
Right, a couple of parking garages. I think like next year they'll be open. It takes a while to build a parking garage at Disney.
Apparently it does. Well, you want to make sure it's solid.
Right.
Very solid. Anyway, so here's the back.
There's the
back
AMC Theater, and we've actually been seeing quite a few movies lately, and we usually can get a good spot behind Cirque as far as parking.
Now you'll recognize this. It's Pleasure Island, the iconic logo. It is closed though, the island part, this whole bridge, everything you see there where the old clubs, where the Adventurers Club and the Comedy Club, that whole area is closed. And actually the Comedy Club is completely gone.
Right. And I enjoyed the Comedy Club and the Adventurers Club when they were open.
So it looks like this particular club, the Sound Stage, whatever they call it,
BET.
BET. Well, I think it was BET. Then it was
something before it. I mean, a number of them went through changes.
Right. So it's just Soundstage Club. I think that structure is going to stay. And from looking at
you think so?
I think so.
I have no idea.
Well, we'll see, won't we? And this bridge is new. This was the first time I've taken this bridge to sort of get around. Oh, boy. Now, these are really cool. Tell us, what's the name of the restaurant?
I think it's called the Boathouse is supposed to be going in here. So we'll see. I'm not very good with like the whole concept art and everything.
Well, I think this Boathouse, if you sort of think of where the fireworks factory, the Wild Horse, that kind of area, I think that's where that is, right in the corner there. But I would love to drive those things around the water. I suspect they will be renting those little 50s
What's
cars.
that one over there? Those look neat too. Like they look like
Chinese junks or something like that.
I have no idea.
That's what they call those.
I don't know.
That's something like that. Yeah, or I don't know.
I feel like you're making stuff up now.
No,
I don't know.
I don't have. I have. It could be Japan.
A little train.
I
don't know.
So this is another bridge. This is a bridge to sort of connect the rainforest side to the Lego side, and you can see what it looks like right now.
The rainforest right over
Because
here
I'm
where the
taking
Lego
this right in
store
front
is.
of where the Lego store is, and of course every half hour I think the rainforest sort of blows some fire off. It
erupts. Right, it erupts. Like, right. It doesn't blow fire, it erupts, yes.
Gene Simmons blows fire. Yes. That's a different story. It erupts. So anyway, this is the state of the bridge construction now. But it'll be nice when you could just walk across there. You don't have to go all the way around to get to that other side.
It's never bothered me to walk, so it'll be interesting. Me either,
but it'll just be a different, whole different thing. See, and this is where I took the video right in front of the Lego store here.
And the Flower and Garden Festival flowers.
And there you go again. By the way, we saw the Lego movie recently. Loved it.
Loved that film. Has everyone seen that? Because it's excellent.
So this is another Starbucks. We mentioned there'll be plenty of Starbucks. This is in that sort of little crevice.
I like the Cinderella. You have Cinderella in front of Starbucks.
She is thirsty too. So and also they have the food trucks here. These food trucks are there every day, and these same ones in the same area. I don't think Monday. They think Monday they aren't there.
I don't know about same area. It seems like they move.
No, the other two are on the other side. Apparently,
I feel like every time I go there, they're in a different place.
But in the Magic Kingdom one we just saw, also that's a Disneyland one, and they had corn dogs from Disneyland, and our friend Mark tried them. He said they were just like Disneyland corn dogs. We need to get there and try that.
I hate corn dogs.
Oh boy. Well,
I like buttered chicken though. We had that at Disney's Pop Century Resort.
Or was it Art of Animation?
Oh, sorry. Art of Animation.
So the Marketplace Co-op also new going into the old Team Mickey, which was the sports store.
And I read about it, but I still don't understand it. It's like specialty products, including D-Tech On Demand and Beautifully Disney. We'll see what it's about when it opens.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. So now we're taking the boat ride back to the west side. And this is, I think, what that restaurant we talked about, that's the location. What was the name of it again?
I think the Boathouse.
The Boathouse. And again, that used to be the fireworks factory in Wild Horse. I remember when I was a younger lad going to the fireworks factory, which was really good. They had great barbecue there.
I never went.
Well, downstairs in the bar area, they had a giant mirror behind the bar, which happened to be the other side of the men's room where the urinals were. So when you were visiting the bathroom doing your business, you would look out and it was one of those one-way mirrors. So it looked like everybody that was staring at the mirror at the bar could see you.
I would not like that. Like, it would be like if you had a stall that did the same thing in the women's room and you could see the people outside.
Well, it was kind of funny. Like, once you knew the joke, you could sort of sit there at the bar and wave to people and, you had fun with that.
I would not. I would hate that. And
old school. That is no more.
I did go to the Wild Horse a couple times for food, and it was really good. But I wasn't a big club person, and I didn't actually go to Pleasure Island until maybe the mid to the late 90s.
And there's the Adventurers Club. Didn't you say one of your friends and you walked into the Adventurers Club?
The first time I ever walked into the Adventurers Club was like around probably 96, 97 with a friend of mine. And the moment she saw what it was inside, like we went through the revolving door and she was like, nope. And like right out. So I didn't go back for a couple of years.
But we loved it. I mean, we've had good times there.
She liked to dance and stuff. I was never much into the whole dancing thing.
But I'm saying the Adventurers Club, you enjoyed that.
I did enjoy it. Oh, and Raglan Road, they're going to be having something called the Mighty St. Patrick's Festival. They always have, events around, well, they have events all year.
This is their big time of year coming up.
For St. Patrick's Day, and it's actually 10 days from March 7th through 17th. Maybe that's 11 days. And they have Wee Banjo 3, the U2 Tribute Band, Elevation, the Willis Clan, Irish dance workshops, and they have their entertainment schedule on raglanroad.com. And they always have, obviously, the Irish food and the Irish entertainment and dancers.
I would bet this is that U2 tribute band. But that sounds great.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Check it out. We should check it out this year.
We should check it out.
I like the
We have plenty of time, 10 or 11 days worth. So.
Yeah, that's true. So we also went to the Magic Kingdom, and there was a lot of interesting things going on there.
Right, a lot of changes coming up, not only to the mine train, but to the hub and to all kinds of areas.
Right. We can see work starting. There are rumors that there'll be big changes to the hub, which would be better for fireworks viewing, things like that. But none of that's been announced, so we won't speculate. One thing, though, that we think is very likely that will happen is this arcade that's going to go behind Main Street. And
I don't know if I don't know if they're calling it an arcade here, but in Disneyland Paris, it's called an arcade. And it's a walkway kind of behind the stores.
And you can see this is where it used to be a flower
flower
bed in that where that circular area, and that's gone, and it's sort of totally cleared. There used to be buildings. This is what an arcade looks like from the inside at Disneyland Paris.
Right. I don't know if they would link up the shops or not, but I think it's very nice, and I think they should have had these here to begin with because it allows kind of shopping, and you don't have to go outside in the rain.
Well, you could sort of have back ways into the shops, so the shops could open into the arcade like they are here. Again, great for the Florida rainstorms that happen every day, and if there's a parade, you don't have to cut through all those shops.
In Disneyland, there's a little area that reminds me of it too.
So big changes also in Casey's Corner.
I'm not sure that I like see this little area here, I think they should have made tables here and kept the bleachers and everything as they were.
Right. The bleachers used to be right there, and there was a movie screen where that blank wall is, and you could sort of eat your hot dog, sort of like you're at a baseball game, which I like the whole theming of all that. They still kept some of the old baseball and Mudville theme.
Right. It's
more, it seems to be more crowded and, I don't know, not as well themed to me. But, I mean, again, they certainly did need inside seating. So.
But I think they should have moved into that retail space and put the tables there.
I agree. And this is something new, at least for us.
Right. Well, I think it's only a few days old. There's King Triton. The area behind him I had not seen before. It's weird because we've walked past it a bazillion times, and it's this is like a big DVC booth building.
Well, Disney calls it Prince Eric's Village.
Right, this whole little
area. And it's quite themed, it's quite detailed, and we're going to go in and take a look at all that.
And I like the King Triton, and it certainly gets everybody moving towards the DVC people, in the area.
Very brilliant thinking. Well, there was a line to take a picture with the statue. So that's always a good thing. It's good to get people there, like you just said.
And this is sort of like a woodworking area, and I don't actually know what everything here is.
Well, it's for Prince Eric to keep busy.
Isn't he on the boat?
Well, he might be on the boat too.
And this is like you can see figureheads that would be on a prow of a ship, like Ariel is outside.
Right, they sort of go together, and I think you can even see. Well, there's the Ariel right there, so you could see that whoever built this. That's how they planned it.
Right. And I mean, this is just a little concept art. I think it's really a nice place to just a little visit,
I'm impressed that from the prow of the ship.
I looked it up 5 minutes ago because you wanted to know what the figurehead, was called.
You spoil my compliment there.
Oh, well, it's okay. But at least I still remember it.
That's right. That's good.
5 minutes later.
What are these then?
I have no clue.
They're just wood carvings.
They're wood carvings. You got a rooster and an old man in the sea.
Very nautical. Very nautical.
But this map is awesome.
Yeah, this map is great. There's a lot of neat little details. There's the Disney, or it's called the Magic there, Disneyland, Walt Disney World. These are all places that the cruise line goes and DVC goes and Disney goes.
And we see the fantasy, and we'll see the wonder here, and also the dream is shown. And, these are all Disney destinations that you can see here, and obviously the ships and
this map really kind of shows you that Disney is global.
Yes.
There's a Disney park open at all times, and even more so with Shanghai when it opens.
Right. And Ursula is
menacing.
Showing that, yes.
The
whole world.
I like that they actually have real versions of the ships. I'm guessing they represent the Disney Cruise Line ships up there.
And also we see Prince Eric's castle in a couple of different paintings here.
And that looks very familiar, like the real Prince Eric's castle right outside from this kiosk.
Yes.
And this was another thing we saw, this area of rolled up maps. I guess it represents sea maps that the captains...
A cartographer's shop.
Correct, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
Anyway, if you look carefully, though, the maps actually have writings on them. They appear to be real maps, so I was trying to peer through and see if there was any tributes, like the Bill Justice tribute in the Town Square Theater, similar, rolled up paper.
We didn't see anything.
We didn't see anything yet, but I am on the case. I'm not done. I'm not done. And I love this picture, your miniaturized picture here.
Of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train with Prince Eric's castle in the background.
Right. Yeah, very nice. So this is the latest look at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. You can see much more detailed and texturized.
Yes.
Texturized.
And a lot of grass. You have the trees, the grass. I mean, everything is coming along nicely. It's still a couple of months away, I think. So still a ways.
Yeah, we're hearing, April 30th or something like that?
Around that time, but
opening?
There's a media event at that time, but I don't know if it will be open earlier or after. There's no way to know.
And I see more texture that I was just mentioning. Anyway, this appears to be, and I think you've confirmed it, it is the second dock for for the ferry boat.
Right. So does that mean there'll be 2 ferry boats in at one time? I have no idea what that means.
Well, it means you can get more people to the Magic Kingdom and back is what it means.
Well, that's what we want.
That's right. So it's another show. Thanks, everybody, including Theme Park Connection, our sponsor.
We'll be heading there hopefully this coming week.
Yes, looking forward to it.
And we'll have quite a lot more from Walt Disney World, maybe Universal next week if we have time, otherwise the following week.
Right, and I'm sure we'll have some more Flower and Garden, too.
Plenty of Flower and Garden. I love it.
So thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.